It's not necessarily a scam, but there is a game. There's a game being played. That's for sure. You'd have to be tactical about it for sure. You wouldn't be able to just go out and do whatever. It's like I feel bad, but after a while, it's like, come on, guys. How obvious does it have to be? Philippines versus Thailand, admit its cheeks and you happy to be home. So I will 100% admit that it's different than Thailand for sure. If you're the type of person when you travel, like luxury hotels and like fancy beach clubs, and if you're looking for that type of vibe, yeah, I don't really think Philippines is gonna have a ton of that to offer. But if you're looking for more like off the grid, you want to be able to go places where you can be on a beach by yourself, you're more down to like get involved with all the local shit, eat more local food, stuff like that, and you're cool and you're just kind of like a minimalist, especially if you want to do like outside stuff. If that's like your idea of fun when you're traveling, if you want to surf, if you want to scuba, you want to go fishing, you want to go diving, all that stuff, Philippines, I think by far takes the cake on all that shit. If you want to go to a place and like have luxury hotel or like super fancy hotels and like really crazy infrastructure and like chain restaurants and, you know, 7-Elevens on every corner, stuff like that, Thailand for sure. Being somewhere full time, just from what I've seen, I think I would rather be in Thailand just because you have more of an option to go back and forth between both those experiences, as opposed to where if you're in the Philippines, if you don't like doing like outside stuff all the time for your entertainment, it's going to be a lot harder to find shit to do. Anybody know why Pattaya and Pattaya as an expat and tourist hub doesn't have an international airport like Chiang Mai, Samui, Phuket, and Chiang Rai? I think just because it's so close to Bangkok. There is an airport in Rayong. It's just there's hardly any flights, and I don't think it's international. I think they're mostly domestic flights, the ones that do go there. I think it's just because it's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Bangkok, and there's 2 international airports in Bangkok. As for a Farang living there without any prior contacts, very isolated, only drunk or freaky expats and bar girls to talk to. Step chicken, when it comes to Pattaya, you pretty much hit it on the head. Granted, there are people here who are just like here to live and chill, but I always compare it to Vegas. When I lived in Vegas, I always said, everybody who comes to Vegas is not a dirtbag, but every dirtbag wants to come to Vegas.
What the hell is even that?
A lot of them, and not even necessarily dirtbags, but just people that are here to chase chicks and party, and that's all they're interested in. If that's what you want to do and you have the means to do it, fucking live your life, man. I feel like the bars were a scam. You mean in Thailand? It's not necessarily a scam, but there is a game. There's a game being played. That's for sure. That's another thing that I noticed after being here for a while is like once you know the game, it's nowhere near as fun. It's like once you are here for a while and you start to see, you know, the cracks and you start to see how stuff really works, it can be easy to get hung up on that and be like, I don't really like this. That's why I think it's good to leave every once in a while. There are some things that I wish were different here, but there are a lot of things that I still enjoy. It's still very true in Thailand that girls are still very approachable. It's not like in the States where it's like, if you see a girl at the mall and you go try, hey, you know, what's your name? I saw it, you're super pretty. I was interested, maybe you want to go get something to eat, maybe go get a coffee later. And then she ends up like calling you a fucking weirdo and takes pictures of you and blasts you everywhere online. The odds of that happening in Thailand are pretty minuscule. I got 450 line IDs in Bukaw market in my first 3 months. Most were 8s and 9s.
Right.
I don't know, bro. I don't think I've seen 450 8s and 9s at all since I've been in Thailand. Just saying. I asked you in one of your vids how much you'd saved up before you moved. Of course, if it's not too personal. I don't remember, dude. It wasn't a lot. I think I probably came with like 7 grand American, something like that. Less than 10, I know that. Less than 10, more than 5, something like that. That lasted me about 6 or 7 months, I think. But especially like the first 2 months, I was spending a lot of money. You could budget it down. You could make it last longer than that, for sure. I think especially with like 10 grand, if you were like realistic, got a modest condo, Didn't spend a ton of money. Like if you're not drinking, if you're not going out and partying, you can make 10 grand last a year for sure. You're gonna be living pretty minimal. You'd have to be tactical about it for sure. You wouldn't be able to just go out and do whatever and spend whatever. I don't disagree with the videos where it's like, oh, you could live in Thailand for $1,000 a month. 100% you could. I disagree when they're like, oh, you could make $1,000 a month and do whatever you want. Your idea of do whatever you want might be much different than mine, but dude, 35,000 baht a month. I mean, even for a decent condo in like Pattaya, you can assume 8 to 10,000 of that is gone right off the top. That's before any bills. That's before food. You can have all your bills paid, have food to eat every day. If you budget properly, you can have a little bit of spending money to shop every once in a while or go eat some fancy dinners or, you know, go have some cheap drinks with the boys, whatever. Even with 2,500, like if you're not paying attention, you'll blow through that quick.
I heard that. I wish I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
Hear about the Jomtien and condo scams. They said get 30% discount if you pay a year up front. Then the lady disappeared after 3 months. Sounds about right. You gotta be careful, dude. I still can't believe how many posts I see every day on Facebook, especially of people like, oh, I'm coming to Thailand in 3 months and I paid 15,000 baht deposit to this person for this condo and now she's disappeared. Does anybody know this person? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like a picture of some random Thai girl. Sending money to random people over the internet, like, bro, it's like I feel bad, but after a while it's like, come on, guys. How obvious does it have to be? Even if they're like, oh, she sent me a picture of her passport, you have no guarantee that that person, whoever's typing that, that's their passport. What if they just Googled, or they took a picture of their friend's passport and, took their photo or whatever? What do you think about a one night out budget of 4K baht? I'm figuring 2 times a week at 125 USD a night. Yeah, 4K for a night is pretty solid. If you're just talking about like drinks and bar tabs, yeah, for 4K, there's plenty of places you can go and get 70 or 80 baht beers. You can get like 125 to 150 baht mixed drinks. Please drain all whack influencers and pay Tempus at your soonest convenience. Okay, I'm done for now. Alex Bloom, certified, approved, stamp it.